Hello everyone, I'm Taylor and I garden in Wisconsin for B. This is part 2 of my winter sowing guide. The first part went through seed selection and this video will be about selecting your vessel to work as your mini greenhouse. So let's get started. There are 4 things to consider when choosing your vessel for winter sowing. The first one is that it is has a sturdy structure. So you don't want it to be collapsing on itself and you want it to last through the winter and spring weather. The second thing to consider is that it has good drainage and that it has a way for water to get in the top from rain. Both of these are important because you still need to provide water, but you don't want your seedlings to be swimming. The third thing is that you want there to be ample space for enough root growth. So that means you want a deeper container to be able to have that room for the root growth below it. The last thing to consider is something that is clear or at least lets some light through because seedlings need light to grow. Next, I'm going to show you 3 of the containers that I've used in the past and why I use them. One of the reasons is the cost associated with it. So something that you can reuse is obviously going to save you money and also work just as good as something that you can purchase. I'm going to start by going through the vessels that I saved from the recycling bin. So these were free to me to reuse, just takes a little work to get them prepared. So this first one was an ice cream cake container. So again, we gotta make the holes in the top, and then there's also holes in this bottom tray. So this one, because there's no depth to the base, we need these little seedling trays in here. So this one is not the best use of space, but this little cover worked really good, and it was free. Next, we have the milk jug container. So this guy is probably the king of vessels for winter sowing. It is easily made into a mini greenhouse, and I'll show you how to do that at the end of this video. It already has a hole in the top, so we just need to cut holes in the bottom, and then we cut all the way around it. So this one is a great one. It's got enough structure, but it's easy to cut through to make your greenhouse, and it has a good depth to it. So this one is a great one and a great way to reuse these. So juice containers can be used for this, but these are not quite as good as the milk jug containers. The first reason why is they are very tough to cut through. They're a thicker plastic, so that adds difficulty. You also can't just poke a hole in the bottom here. You have to drill it, but it has a good opening on the top, and it's a good clear container. So if you want to try to use these, they will still work. And my last vessel that I would recommend using is a clear tote. So this one we made a few years ago and it has worked awesome. It makes it easier for watering because a lot of the seedlings are in one place. We drilled holes in the bottom here for good drainage. And then I use these little seedling trays here so you can plant varieties of different things in here and just take them out easily. So all those things together really made this investment worth it. I'll show you the lid here. So this one has worked really well for us. I'll be using this one again this year. Those are the vessels that I have experience with using, and I'm going to go through how to make your milk jug vessel next. So the equipment we need for this is obviously a milk jug, a good pair of scissors, duct tape, and a garden marker. So I'm going to start on this milk jug by cutting the ring around it. This section here I'm going to leave as a hinge on here, and that's important so that you can uncover and cover these back up once the spring gets warm and cool and you go through those cycles. So I'm going to start here and punch a hole. Maybe, there we go. And I'm going to try to cut a straight line all the way around this milk jug. And you can see how easy this is to cut. It's just that first punch that gives you a little bit of a challenge. So let's see how good I do. And you could probably draw a line for yourself to cut. It would have been a better idea. So I'm going to leave that gap there so that this can work as a hinge. So imagine you got your dirt in here. You can go like that to leave it open in the spring and then close it back up. So we already have our hole in top to water and to let some rain in. So now we're just going to need to poke some holes in the bottom for drainage. So you can drill these, but I find it's just as easy to use as scissors. So we're going to punch them in there, and then I twist it a little bit just to make that hole bigger. I'm probably going this way too. And don't cut yourself. And I'm just going to do 4 here. All right, so pop that back out. All right, so we're all set to go. So next you would put your soil in here. And I've been using Pro Mix all-purpose, which has worked great. And then next, so you do that. You can put labels in here as well. I did both the year that I did a lot of these, and that was helpful to have a label on the inside and also written on here. So you then, once you get your soil in here and your seeds, you're going to write on the side with the garden marker what's in here. So in the past, I did use a Sharpie, and that did not work great. If you point your Sharpie to or your writing to the north, it will help a little bit because it protects it from the sun. But obviously you want to remember what you planted in each one. So from here, then you're going to duct tape all the way around this. And then you set these aside. So that is the vessel of choice, I think, for most winter sowers. And you can see it was pretty easy to cut that up. And then you can have your friends and family save milk jugs for you to reuse them that way. That was part 2 of the winter sowing series. I hope that you decided what vessel you're going to use and that this was a helpful video for you. If you have any questions, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Tailored Acres. There will be a 3rd part to this video coming out where I actually plant up my winter sowing for the year. So keep your eye out for that too. But take care and enjoy.